Hey everyone, I'm Tamari Lana from Fab Collab, and this is Curtain Call, of course. Every week we feature and spotlight and honor a woman in the performing arts industry. And today we are live with Jacelyn. Now Jacelyn is a Hi Lula. Hey Jacelyn. Just gonna give a quick intro. Jacelyn is a singer-songwriter based in Toronto, but not there right now. You'll see where she is. And who I met through the Scarborough Philharmonic Orchestra, actually. And I'm gonna bring her on right now. Let's do it. Hi Ali. Hi Farah. Are you in Pakistan, Farah? We're on. And let's wait 1 second for her. Hi everyone. Oh,
Hi.
where are you? What's up?
I'm here in Mexico right now.
Oh my God. And Farah just told us she's in. Hi Luca. Farah's in Pakistan.
Hi,
We got Mexico,
everybody.
Pakistan. I'm in Northern Ontario. We got Toronto. Hi everyone. So this is Jacelyn. And so like I said, singer-songwriter from Toronto. And I'm just going to let everyone know how we met because I think it's pretty incredible.
For sure.
We met kind of because of the pandemic. I mean, I like to think we would have met anyways. But one of the incredible things that this pandemic, one of the few things, good things that this pandemic has resulted in is kind of more connection in some regards between artists that may not have met. And actually Fab Collab is a direct result of that, of collaborations between artists from all different backgrounds. And one of the things that happened at the beginning of the pandemic is I met through a mentorship system. I met Derek Spooner, the director of Scarborough Arts, and he put me in touch with the Scarborough Philharmonic Orchestra, who put me in touch with Jacelyn. And they were like, can you guys write a song? And we were like, of course you can write a song. So we wrote a winter song that's not going to be really released this year. So you guys are the only ones that know.
Yeah, I will do a special little something.
Yeah. So Jacelyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing down there in Mexico? What's up?
So, hi, everybody. And thanks for having me join with you guys. So I'm here in Mexico because I'm doing a border run, actually. So basically what that means is I've been in Costa Rica. I've been doing a project there and working on a new album and also trying to get away from the lockdown. I really was finding it really depressing and really hard to be locked in my place, and I don't like the cold. And normally this time of the year I'm touring and singing and everything. And even though I can't sing in Costa Rica, like the bars are closed for singing, stuff like that, I'm able to do a project recording. And so I had to fly to Mexico so that I could renew my visa to stay longer in Costa Rica. So it's a crazy time right now, and I want you to know that you do have some freedom. So like you can choose to go somewhere else and not be in Canada if you're able to do that. And I know a lot of us won't be together for the holidays with our family. I'm not going to be with my family for the first time this year either. And it's a really hard thing, but I knew in my heart that I needed to go to my sanctuary, my healing place, and that happens to be in Montezuma, Costa Rica, and that's where I do a lot of my writing as well. So
Wow.
It was the best decision for me. And I don't know, some of you might know who I am and follow me. So I broke my foot in August, and I actually brought my cast on my leg and my foot to Costa Rica, and my doctors were like, all the pools are closed in Canada, all the physio, everything you're going to heal better by walking in the sand and swimming in the water. And so it just kind of all aligned. And my mom came for a month too and hung out with me, and now she's back in Canada. So I'm just super grateful that I followed my intuition and needed to be where I was going to heal. So that's why I'm here.
That's incredible. I wish I could do the live interview with you over there next time. That's happening.
I want everybody to be here. I mean, we're still wearing masks, and you still have to do your thing, and people are being pretty cool about the social distancing, but it's different. The regulations are different everywhere. Mm-hmm. So.
And you said you're working on something new down there. What are you working on?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Tamar. Like what I did this time was, I don't know about you or other singer-songwriters that are on joining us, but a lot of times we kind of set the expectations and like how we want the end results of an album or a
Mm-hmm.
project and how it's going to look and how it's going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm very micro organizer. And so I've done that process and that journey many times. And so this time I was like, you know what? I just want to be in samsara, in flow, in like whatever, and release those expectations from myself. So
Mm-hmm.
I show up to the studio, and it's the first time where it's like I haven't written anything, I haven't prepared anything, and we just start working and vibing, and we go out onto the mountain and look at the sea and watch the sunset, and then we come back in, and then all of a sudden I'm freestyling, I'm flowing, I'm even rapping a lot more, and I'm doing all these like funk vibe stuff. So
Are you gonna
I'm
rap for
just
us?
allowing it to happen. I think I told you on the phone yesterday, I literally scatted for 18 minutes straight, and I was like, I opened my eyes and I saw the counter, and I was like, whoa. And a few of the engineers that are there are like, that just happened. So
Are we
and
gonna
by
hear that? Is that
releasing
gonna be
those
on the album?
expectations, is gonna create something. I've pumped out about 25 tracks in the last 2 months.
No.
So I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but the idea is, let's do something, just it'll find its way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Luca says.
I'm so bad with going with the flow.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
super
Luca.
healing and creative. And you know what? It's the same thing. Like, the artists that we've invited into the studio have been like, I just met them, and then we like jammed, and then I'm like, do you want to come to the studio next week? And then let's see what happens. And they're like, oh, should we prepare? I'm like, no, let's not prepare. Let's just go and let's see what happens. Um,
I gotta say, last time
yeah.
I saw you, you were in a cast in your apartment, and now you're like living the artist dream. So I'm so happy to see that. Congrats, that's
Thank
incredible.
you. I know, you saw me at my like worst. I was so depressed. Can you imagine, guys? Lockdown is lifted, and then 2 weeks out of the gate, in the middle of the summer, I break my foot playing tennis or beach volleyball. I can't remember which one it was because I was doing a bunch of sports that day. Um, and that's the crazy thing, right? Is that
You were stuck in your apartment all
I was
summer.
actually in a worse lockdown after that. And so it was like double lockdown. And now I'm feeling like I'm having a summer and I'm a bit freer.
Yeah, I'm so happy. So last time I saw you and your cast on Double Lockdown, um, you were just about to release an album. Can you tell us about that? What it was called, what it's about?
So I released Dovetailing on October 16th, and we broke the charts at 143 last week across
Yeah!
North America and jazz radio. And we're actually going to be taking the one song Kaleidoscope, which I highly suggest. It's got a lot of funk. It's an explicit track, so there's a hip hop artist on it. That one's going to commercial radio in the new year. And then
Awesome.
I don't know about you guys, but I've pivoted. I'm now the pivot princess, is what I like to call it. And I have pivoted everything to be online. So we did this presentation that the Mississauga Arts Council came in and helped me with, and it's with 10 visual artists, 5 female they're all female artists, the visual artists. They each chose a song off the album and created a masterpiece of visual art inspired by the music. And then we have a team of dancers, poetry, beautiful women doing a healing ceremony, and it's this whole multimedia visual experience with the music. And that's coming out in the new year too. And then I'm just kind of doing things like this, talking to people and hanging out. And then the Christmas EP is on radio as well, and that came out in November. So it's such a strange time to be doing this from here and have all these projects out, but you got to do it, right? What's the name
You
of the
have to.
song? The name of the song I suggest to listen to is Kaleidoscope, featuring Asha. She's the rapper on it.
Awesome.
That's for Wasti. Wasti.
Lusty, yeah. For sure. Yeah, go check it out. Her album is on all platforms. The album is called Dovetailing, and beautiful album. I've listened to it top to bottom multiple times, especially when driving. And
Thank you.
6 hours
Amazing.
north of Toronto. And there's also one of your videos is on our website. I believe it
Mm.
is the one where you're on a boat in black and
Foreign
white.
Affairs. I'm
Foreign
on a yacht
Affairs.
and
I
I'm
love that one because you guys should go check it out. It took me by surprise. I was expecting one thing the whole video, and then at the end, I was like, nice.
yeah, yeah.
So, can you tell us, is that about a specific story or what?
Yeah, I can tell you a
Yes.
funny story. So, some of us artists, we know that we kind of fly by the seat of our pants when we're kind of getting projects done and bringing people together and doing like trading of services or an energy exchange and creativity exchange. And so I had got like friends and I'd asked my brother if he would be one of the guys who's in the video and have to like hit on my brother as this character. And then
Not awkward
one
at
of my
all.
friends didn't show up for a different scene. And so I had to like emergency call my dad and be like, can you please be in the video? And my dad doesn't even like being the center of attention or even on social media. And then we're like trying to do this scene and he's like, I can't look at you. You're looking at me and batting your eyelashes. And it's like so strange. So now we call it Family Affairs.
Oh no.
I'm hitting on my brother and my dad in the,
Oh
the film.
no.
So, but I guess that's also like the power of how it shows like it takes a village to raise an artist, and like having supportive family and friends is like super important, and having support from your other creative collectives, because you can't just call anyone to be like, hey, can you be here in an hour and with this, suit on, and pretend you're an Italian man, and we're doing it at my friend's restaurant, on my friend's yacht, on my other friend's boat, and my dentist's yacht.
Come on. That sounds
all
so
over
like
the place,
I
So,
so
and my
believe it.
girlfriend's art studio is also in the video, and she's one of the visual artists. Her name's Jesco, and she's a fantastic artist. She's one of the visual artists on the visual project, so she did a piece of artwork. So it all intertwines. Everything you start to kind of realize how you're standing on so many people's shoulders, and vice versa, they're standing on you. So
Yeah, that's so beautiful. So true. Guys, go check out the video now that you know the background. You'd never guess.
yeah, and Kaleidoscope is done in a bathroom because we brought it out during lockdown, and it's all about mental health.
Oh,
And
wow.
I didn't plan for there to be a lockdown to bring out a song during mental health awareness, but you just kind of go with the flow. That's a cool video too. My girlfriend filmed that one for me.
That's amazing. You have such a good team and you are such a hustler. I respect you so much for that. Like, I'm not surprised to hear any of this, just gotta say. So I also want to touch upon like a bit, like we've said, there's funk, there's soul, there's jazz. You've mentioned so many forms in your album and just like in your life in general. Can you tell us a bit? Thanks, Wasti, for posting these. Thank you.
Yeah,
Check it out. Fabclub.ca, and also Jacelyn's website. I think it's musicbyjaclyn.com. Is that right? No.
Yeah, musicbyjaclyn.com. It's Music by Jacelyn everything, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Nice one.
It's just Music by Jacelyn, because it's hard to spell my name. So we want you to get there at least part of the way.
No, I love it. Perfect. And so go check that out. And tell us a bit like about the styles that you do, kind of how you got there, why you combine all of them.
Again, the one thing I wanted to be in was flow. Even though we had everything super organized for that project, I wanted to express myself in the way that I experience music, how I create music, who I create it with, and find a way to make an album that was cohesive but also very collective. And I think that we did cut some songs last minute off the album, and one was actually in complete Spanish, and those were decisions we ended up making because it didn't feel as cohesive if there were certain songs that were just a little too out of the box. Mm-hmm. But it was really important for me to do a world-class album without any limitations, because I kind of made this promise to myself that I would do my debut album and I would be okay if it was the first album I ever did and the last album I ever did.
Oh,
and
wow.
that if I approached it in that way, it's sort of like, YOLO, what is it? YOLO, like you only live once, kind of that vibe of just go for it and make no just let it be limitless, you know, and make all your decisions as if this is your last album.
You know what?
And
I'm going to do that from now on. What a good idea. Make every
yeah,
album as
and I
if it's your
think that
first
that's
and your
what made
last.
made me fight for certain things. And I mean that with like love. Like I had to like fight for Kaleidoscope to be on the album. Do you know what I mean? Because or to have a rapper to swear on a jazz album is like not normal. So I had to fight for certain things, and I think that fire to fight for certain things with my team to be like, no, let's put that song on there, or like let's do this, is because I kind of came at it from that perspective of I may never do another album again, and I'm going to be okay with that because I laid it all on the line and I did the kind of album that I wanted to do, which is personally I'm not a huge fan of artists sounding the exact same on like every track or very like slight difference. I like it when there's some variety going on and I can hear the different colors and shades of the vocalists, or the way that they tell a story is changing, or whatever's going on in the music, and there's some shifts. And but don't get me wrong, I love it too when there is like a vibe of an album and you kind of want that vibe, which is why I guess playlists are really great, because then you can like switch up the artists and keep the vibe. But that was really important to me, to not think I have to have things sounding in a certain pocket and just kind of go for it. So that's kind of all how it came together, and why it's an adult contemporary soul jazz pop album is because it has all those flavors.
So what do you have? You have soul, so jazz, soul, pop. Oh yeah, Luca agrees. I agree with Luca. I mean,
Blues.
my albums are like a different
Yes.
language every
Your album
song.
is so much I want to say collective, eclectic is
Yeah,
a
so
great word.
I can only
And like
agree
when
with
you
you.
look at you, you see like this is not a normal woman. She's not like this. You kind of like go and you like dress, and your makeup changes and your jewelry it's all very eclectic, and so I would expect that from you when I
Thanks,
see you.
Jacqueline. Thanks, Jacqueline. But tell us, like, just so we know, like, what are all the styles that are on your
So
album?
there's salsa, there's bossa nova, there's gypsy soul, there's neo soul, funk, gospel, a little bit of blues, and we've got a little bit of country storytelling in one of the songs because it originally was a country track, and then we changed the arrangement. And then we've got, you know, a horn section, but then I've got the core string section from the symphony as well.
All
So,
right.
and actually that's how it all, we met because of that. So I was driving my car and I heard the Scarborough Symphony on CBC special, and I was like, that's what I should do. I can't afford the Toronto Symphony on my album. I should call this guy. So I heard Ron on the radio, and I just got the email, and I sent him an email, and I sent him some demos and the arrangements. And he was just like, wow, this is really great. Who are you? How did you find us? And he got the core people from the Scarborough Orchestra to come on my album. And then we ended up working on arrangements. Then I sang Christmas stuff. Now we're writing a Christmas album together. And then that's how you and I met. So
I love it.
you just never know.
You never know. Exactly.
How it's going to happen. It's
you
so
never
amazing.
know.
Life is so beautiful.
Exactly. And I do want to touch just on all those styles that you asked. I mean, that I asked, that you mentioned. Yeah, Luca, you do. It does have all. Yeah, well, Luca, you'll tell us what you think.
I need to listen to this. You need to
Luca is
listen
also
to
a singer-songwriter that sings in multiple languages. So everyone go check her out. And actually, both of you don't even know, but you've now collaborated on a video, because both of you are going to be on
the Christmas video.
Christmas holiday video that's coming out in 2 days. So we'll talk about that in a second. But so awesome. So you don't even know that, but that's wicked. So yeah, so I asked you this before, but I just want to ask for the audience's kind of understanding, because it's something that I didn't understand. But can you tell us, now in your bio, you've cited all these kind of styles. And what stood out to me that I've never heard of, and now I've read up a little bit about and talked to you about, but is blue-eyed soul. So can you tell us what that is and what your understanding is, and just explain a little bit?
The blue-eyed soul can almost be deemed as a bit of a derogatory statement from where it came from. So back in the 1940s and 50s, most people of color were singing soul jazz music, and that's your Etta James and Count Basie and like all these crazy beautiful singers. And when they started putting labels started finding some females that were white to sing the track. So a great example is Leslie Gore, and it was paired up with Quincy Jones. And Quincy Jones, that was his first project for arranging and writing, and it's an amazing album. It's My Party by Leslie Gore. You guys probably know it. You don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me. You know this girl? You totally know this girl. So she's white, and she's singing what would be traditionally more color music. So they came up with this term that it's blue-eyed soul. If you Google Amy Winehouse, they say blue-eyed soul. It doesn't mean that you have blue eyes, but they're saying it's a white person singing the music, essentially. Mm-hmm. And we did a lot of research on my genres, and I keep getting comments that I sound like the Torch Singers from the 1950s, and that's a huge compliment. And I decided to take that on. And then, you know what happened, Tamar, yesterday? We chatted, and you're like, so have you gotten any, like, comments from the community or outside of the community being like, you can't really use blue-eyed soul or this and that, or, like, are people commenting on it or talking? And I'm like, no, I've never had a problem. Everyone's, like, super cool about it. Last night, I had a conversation about it.
What happened? Tell us.
I am telling you, I met this beautiful guy at the bar last night. His name's Marcus, and we decided to walk back. I needed someone to walk me home because it's Mexico and you want to be safe. So he's like, I'll walk you home. And he was talking about how he always gets stopped by the cops here in Mexico, searched no matter what, because he's black. And I was like, oh my God, here I am trying to walk home with you because I don't want to get stopped by the cops because they're really corrupt here, and they actually have robbed one of my friends and somebody else at the hotel. They don't care. And so I'm like, here I am trying to walk back with someone to feel safe, and you're telling me that we have a very high chance of getting stopped because of your color of skin. And so I'm just like, what the hell? I'm like, do you find it offensive of this term, blue-eyed soul?
Wow.
And I explained it to him, and he's like, I think if it's coming from the right place, no. But if you're getting people that are just hating on you and they're being like overcorrect or over political, or they've just had an experience where they feel like you're not even doing the music justice, then they might find it offensive. So it was a very interesting time because up until that point, I had not had that conversation. And you asked me, well, that's so weird that you haven't had anyone comment on it. And then last night, I got to have that conversation.
I think that's what it's all about, really. Like, I can't speak to it. I don't sing soul music. I'm not black. So all I can do is kind of ask and listen to what people, and learn. So I just say that because, doing flamenco and all these other languages that I sing, I've had thousands of conversations with people from like communities asking me, like, do I have the right to sing it? And I'm always like sort of self-analyzing and just curious as to others' experiences. And I think the key, anyone can please comment on this, but I think that the key is really like talking about it, right? Communication and talking about it, and just, that's it.
That's like anything, right? Think about it. When you want to move forward in your place of love and holding the space for communication, we just want to be heard. We just want to be like literally heard. Message sent, but message received, right? Because a lot of times we're talking or we're listening or we think we're being listened, but the other person doesn't feel heard. And that's a really important process of direct, really succinct communication. And you can just hold the space, especially from different communities that are going to teach you a lot about how to make choices. Sorry about that. How to make choices different.
It's all good.
To be able to support the things that you've heard and that you truly are listening to. And I think that that's the important part of the other side of it, is that specific communities, they don't want to just have you hear what they're saying, but to feel, they need to feel heard. It's not about you, it's about them.
Ole, beautiful. That's amazing that you had that conversation.
What are the odds, right?
Wild.
I was like,
I mean,
okay,
once it's
thanks,
sort of like
universe.
you manifested it
I guess
just by
so, because
thinking
I was
about
like,
it.
I do want to have that conversation. I would like to know, because if it is offending anybody, please tell me. You know, don't let me be this girl that has Blue-Eyed Soul on her, what is it, wiki page or whatever, and they're like, mm-mm. I do have blue eyes
I mean,
though, so you know.
Ole, from talking to since like I've read that and started having discussions from talking to various people, it seems to be like particularly about a sound that was from, correct me if I've misunderstood, but it seems to be like about a sound from the era, like just like you said, from the 50s.
Yeah.
And so that was applied to like that kind of sound at that time that maybe would be slightly
Totally.
different from soul, and that's kind of like heavily where you draw your influences from, is what you're saying. In part that
Yeah,
and many other
it just made
genres.
sense. Yeah, it just made sense. And when I did a little bit more research, I think like Amy Winehouse, I think Nora Jones, a couple of people that I just know match my music, or at least my voice, because those are the people, like when people come up after a show and they're like, oh, you sound so much like Amy Winehouse or so much like Nora Jones, then you start to look at what are they coining themselves as. And I just kind of went that, what are we going here? We've got talking about it, respecting genres and learning about the genres we're engaging with, recognizing that we're outsiders, but learning with the passion and dedication of an insider. Luca, so amazing. Well said. Thank you for contributing in that conversation. I
Yeah,
agree.
beautiful.
I agree. I
Just
love that, the
screenshotted
last
that.
part, like with the passion and dedication to just be heard and understand, right?
And be within the cultures and talk to people.
Yeah.
All this being said, before I ask for a special surprise, semi-surprise at the end, I just want to ask if there's anything particular that you want to share about anything upcoming or anything at all.
Well, I think it's really important, to share a little bit about like this year has been such an interesting year, right? And what an experience. I mean, that's what we're having, is just threading together one experience after another, and like the weather, the experiences change. And I think that there were so many things I was going through as an artist to be able to decide, okay, I'm going to release my first debut album in the middle of a freaking pandemic, has been a ride and a half. And I look at the stuff that I was kind of going through before, and I feel like it's all prepared me to be able to continue to get behind my art, to get behind all the other artists that I know, and like really work with women in particular in the industry, and know that no matter what, if it's coming from the right place and it's filled with your uniqueness, then you got to stand behind it. And the time is now, because I used to wait or not even put things out because I wanted it to be perfect. And now more than ever, I think that this pandemic is an embracing of a lot of imperfect things just coming out, or like tech issues, or like, Wi-Fi or whatever. And I think that this is a really interesting time to, at least for me, to continue to work on some of my negative patterns, like imperfection and not feeling enough, not feeling good enough. Like, ooh, will people like my stuff? And now I'm just like, no. I'm a singer, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, bright, beautiful woman, and I am loving, and lovable, and so are you. End of
Wow.
story.
Okay.
Just show up. Just show up.
Jacelyn, I agree. What can I say? So beautiful.
Don't cry on me now, girl.
Crying is good. Crying is good.
I love it.
We're just gonna say hi to everybody.
Express yourself. People will be like, "Oh, you're a singer." I'm like, you know what? I'm actually in the business of involuntary emotional responses like this, by way of a conversation or singing. If I'm singing and I'm telling you a story, whether it's my own or from observing and writing about someone else's story and really getting into it, if you are about to cry or laugh or you have goosebumps or pimples or the hair's raising or like chills, that's what we're doing. That's what we need to do. You know, I've been in that receiving end of walking up to a painting and just crying. And I'm going, who is this artist? And what is happening to my heart and my soul and my body? And it's involuntary. And that's what I aim to do with all the art that
Can
I
you say
create.
that line again? You're in the business of what? Of an
I'm
involuntary?
in the business of involuntary emotional responses.
I love that. Let's stop calling it the music industry.
No,
Call it that.
because the music industry is data now. Let's be honest, okay? The music
So
industry
true.
is data and online numbers. That's the industry now. And what I do, hi, I'm still on my interview. Girl,
We're almost done.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, hi. Sorry, I'm just like in the middle of the interview.
Sorry.
Yes.
Guys, this is great. Now, and this is the essence of life.
And
I
I'm
love
like,
it. I love it. I love it. That's perfect.
trying to be distant, but
You're like,
people, because they, you know what it is? People are like so wanting to hug, even if they're just like this with their heads back and they just want to like connect.
yeah, for
like,
sure. Especially in those countries where kissing and hugging is like so important.
Well, yeah, that girl's French.
She's like 3 kisses.
Yeah, I'm like, no, thank you.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, first
Yeah.
hi everybody. Luca's laughing. Hola Laura, Judith, hi Mom.
Hi,
Natalie,
everybody.
Makeda, ole.
Oh, Natalie, my girlfriend's on there from Germany. Hi.
Alina,
Oh,
did you get that quote?
you.
We're gonna post it later. Ali, everyone, Mr. GTA 6, clearly from Toronto. Laura, thanks everybody so much for joining. And before we go, please, Jacelyn, are you gonna sing us something, or should we do a line of the Christmas song? What should we do first?
We could do a line of the Christmas song. I don't have the words in front of me, but I'm sure I'll be okay. Which one were we gonna do? The part that you sent me, right?
Yeah, let's do that. Cause
you started and I'll follow you.
I'm just gonna sing one little part. We can't give the whole song away. This is like a pre-teaser for when we actually release it next year, right?
And this was inspired by the present, the past, and the future, and how this experience of being in a pandemic has affected your 2020 vision going back, and how it affects going forward, and most importantly in the present. But we're still gonna be okay.
Aww, exactly. And this is how we met. So let's celebrate our blessings, because this year won't be the same.
We can still be together on the holidays.
Ole.
Yes, even though we're at distance, we can still be together. So I guess this little song just came to my mind, is like, I know that everyone's Christmases or holidays are going to be very little now. And I learned something interesting about Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It was written during the war, and they changed some of the words for the commercial recordings, but it's about having a very small, intimate little Christmas with maybe not a lot of things, but that it's still going to be okay. So please remember to just enjoy and be grateful for everything that is around you, no matter how small it is. And I'm going to have to practice that big time for myself, because it's going to be my first Christmas without my family, and I'm already getting all like, oh, about it. So have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be bright. Hang a star in all the old walls away. And have yourself a merry little Christmas. doesn't have to be big.
Ole!
Thank you so much.
Oh, I love your voice. Thank you so much. And Analia, totally agree with you. Analia, we got lots of hearts coming up. I'll always be, yeah, it's more special to hear someone
Love
say,
this
wow.
mini history lesson.
And yeah, exactly, Analia. It's always more special to have somebody say that touched my heart than like, oh, you can hit that note, like technicalities. Totally. Yeah. It's not about the amazing vocal range, but more about how you use it to connect and share. Exactly. Oh, Analia, I agree.
Yeah, man. And I also partied my face off last night, so my voice is like not hitting notes. You know?
But that's the word. Flamenco is all about that. It's about the emotion and what you can convey with it. Look at this. I am tearing up a little, but the emotion and what you can convey with it, and not always so technically. Thanks, Analia. Analia was actually on last week, so go check her out if you haven't.
Analia, I saw your thing. That was so great.
I would love if every single person that we interviewed like formed collaborations. Please, I would be like,
yeah,
my
I
dream.
agree
I'd be
with
so
you.
happy. So please
and
reach
you know
out.
what? When you're on the receiving end, don't be afraid to share with that artist or even someone else in the audience how you're feeling and express that. Part of it is healing, right? If you feel you're about to cry and then you feel like shame or embarrassment or insecurity to let those tears flow, you're trapping all of that healing energy inside and you're not letting it out. And the part of letting it heal is to let it go, right? So and share that and like, oh wow, that made me cry, thank you so much for helping me heal, essentially, right? So never ever keep that inside. Tell people how you're feeling.
Ole. I love it, Jacelyn. So everyone, please go follow her right now. Music by Jacelyn on all the things, all the platforms. Go buy her album, listen, collaborate with her. Watch her when's the video coming out that you said, the multimedia album release?
January. Do
you know a date?
Not yet. Sorry, we keep freezing because my battery's dying. It's going to be the end of January when the visual album comes out. So just
visual
keep an eye
album
on socials. Yeah.
Okay, so Fab Club will post about it, but go follow Jacelyn for more. And before we go, I just want to say that we do have, we've compiled our holiday video. I can't wait to send it out. Jacelyn's on it, Analia's on it, Luca's in it, and a bunch of other amazing artists in multiple languages, and I can't even wait. I'm so excited. So we're going to be releasing that on the 25th in 2 days, Christmas, surprise, surprise. And also, we're going to do a live draw on that day, as promised, to win a free, hold on, pashmina scarf. Okay, it's handmade, artisanal. I'm not even going to take it out of the package, but it does match me. Oh, yeah. So one person is going to win this scarf. We'll mail it directly to you, and it has a Fab Club face mask.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Okay, so that'll be live December 25th at 12 noon Toronto time, 12 noon EST. We'll post about it and all that. But come check it out. Come see who won. Live draw. And also our next interview is next Wednesday, of course, with Leah Granger. And it's Rosita Stone. Okay, she's also just released a bunch of new music. So we'll post about her and check it out. And any last words, Jacelyn? So happy. I want to say last words. I'm so happy to have this with you and to have this time with you. And thank you so much. Really beautiful.
Oh my God, Tamara, thank you so much for having me on here. And the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is there's a saying called pura vida. And it's a Costa Rican saying. If you've ever been to Costa Rica, you've definitely heard it. It's pura vida, which basically means to live the simple and pure life. And we are actually happier when we break it down into those simple terms. And we just think of, if you have a roof over your head, you have a meal in your stomach, and you have a loved one nearby, oh, you are perfect.
I love it.
Pura vida, everything is todo bien. So just really know that all of that is around you and live the pure life.
Thank you, Jacelyn. I agree. Pura vida.
Besos.
Pura vida. Besos. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.